Starting five, Taylor, Keita, Miller, Porter, and Merrill. A very young starting five for the Aggies.
San Diego State starts a 2-3 zone.
Penetration by Porter, and he gets the two, and the Aggies fire the opening salvo. That is the first time that San Diego State has trailed in a home game at any point since the flip of the calendar to 2019.
That is an amazing stat, but it shows you how dominant they have been at home.
McDaniels unable to finish inside, one and done. This is a very good rebounding team for Utah State. Ball deflected out of bounds. Second chance opportunities always tough against the Aggies.
Utah State, a very good passing team. They spread the floor, and against this zone, they're going to try and dribble the gaps, make two players play one, and then look for the open shooter.
Good look inside, and there's the flush by Keita.
Right on cue. We're talking about excellent passers, terrific interior passing. This is a team that averages almost 20 assists a game.
Aztec offense getting pushed away from the basket as they try to start the sets. Again, for the second time, deep into the possession. Mitchell will try to bully in. Fadeaway shot, and the Aztecs are on the board.
How about the respect for Keita? Mitchell saw him coming, and he has to shoot the fadeaway, but well executed.
Token pressure by San Diego State as they try to mix up their looks. Sam Merrill. This Aggie offense, Merrill number 2 in the Mountain West at scoring per game, putting in close to 20 per night. He'll have it in the far corner, nothing there. They look for that quick rotation. Back into Taylor, the versatile big man penetrates in, not looking to shoot. Keita with 3 on the shot clock, big pump, throws it hard off the glass, and the rebound controlled by McDaniels. Long 3, McDaniels lets her go, no good. Keita there to clear the glass. Merrill will get his first shot up, bingo. This kid is special. All-around player, can do it all for the Aggies.
Very unselfish, very, very, very efficient as an offensive player.
Merrill hitting 38% from beyond the arc. He hits his first 3, Utah State by 5. McDaniels looking to post up on Taylor. High arcing shot, no good. Mensah the rebound. His putback won't go. A third crack at it for the Aztecs, and Utah State unable to control.
That's going to be a key for San Diego State here this evening, which is offensive rebounding. They've got to try and figure out a way to get second shots.
Year 2 for Brian Dutcher. What a season, his inaugural campaign, guiding the Aztecs to the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship. Team that peaked at the right time, hoping that's the case here in 2019.
We talked about that earlier with Coach Dutcher, and does it have the same feel? And he kind of pushed off the question, because most coaches will. But he did make a very good point. They were a more experienced team a year ago, but this is a young team that has found its way over the last 10 games and playing much better on the defensive end.
Mentioned that experience last year with Trey Kell, Max Montana, Malik Pope. Inside bucket for the Aztecs, and they cut it to 3. 7-4 Utah State, 4 minutes into this first half.
San Diego State stays in that 2-3 zone, and that's the respect for the Utah State man-to-man offense. But if they're going to shoot over the zone, they're going to have to come out of it.
Merrill is 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, and the Aggies stretch it out to 6. Watson looking at that double team, able to get Merrill to leave his feet. Can't finish it. Merrill the rebound. Utah State, rare opportunity to run. They're going to recognize where number 5 is, but they lost Taylor in the corner. His 3 ball won't go. And the weak side rebound to McDaniels. Mitchell, good position. Bounces it down low to Mensah. Back along the baseline. Watson circles it all the way out. Mitchell looking to use that size, puts it up. This Utah State defense, you see why teams are struggling from the floor. Every shot contested. Miller along the baseline, nobody home as he throws it away. And the Aggies commit the turnover. First time out. Sam Merrill has come out gunning. Couple of long threes for Utah State. Aggies with the early lead from San Diego. Utah State out to an early 10-4 lead. The Aggies hot from the floor. They've connected on 4 of their first 6 shots. In particular, Sam Merrill, and what a run it's been for Merrill, the junior guard out of Bountiful, 22 points per game over the last 4.
And he is, as we talked about earlier, very unselfish. He doesn't take bad shots. And he's a guy that when the ball is in his hands, if you're a shooter, go spot up because he's going to draw the defense. And if he doesn't have a look, he's going to dish it to a teammate.
Space to work along the baseline for McDaniels. He's off to a cold start. He's missed his first 4 shots. 1 and done for San Diego State. Both teams have went to the bench. Diego Brito is checked in for the Aggies. He's your do-it-all type of player. Can fill a number of different roles along with Dwayne Brown, and he has his shot swatted away.
San Diego State comes out of that timeout, switch to man-to-man. Pays off as it forces a turnover.
Seiko into the game for San Diego State. There's a turnover. Merrill on the other end, unable to capitalize. Back come the Aztecs. They want to get this game turned up. McDaniel thought about the 3, slashes in, finds Seiko. Down to the blocks they go to Mensah. He'll work on the big freshman. 2 talented freshmen squaring off. Ball kept alive by the Aztecs, and Hemsley puts it through.
It was a terrific hustle play by McDaniels. Can't get the ball, he tips it to a teammate.
Queta gets a touch inside. Again, true freshman versus true freshman here. Good D by Mensah. Wraparound pass knocked away, and Queta commits the foul.
Oh, I love it when your big guys get on the floor, giving up skin for their teammates.
Hemsley leaves for San Diego State. Look at the hustle here. Hemsley, one of the better defenders for the Aztecs. Queta giving up the body, committing the foul.
I love when the post guys get down and dirty. And that switch to the man-to-man has paid off in the first 2 possessions.
This is a Guac Arope who has seen his playing time increase. Number 3 for the Aztecs. Narain is also checked in for San Diego State. Seiko had his shot, altered at the last second, dishes inside. Narain nowhere to go. Again, shot clock down to 3. Watson penetrates in, and a hand check will be called.
Sean, this is what Utah State wants. They don't want this to become an up-and-down game. If they can make San Diego State take some time off the clock, that plays into the hands of the Aggies.
What a job Craig Smith has done in Logan this year, his first year. Took the job after guiding South Dakota, the Coyotes in Vermillion, South Dakota, the past 4 years. Did a terrific job in Vermillion, and he has brought a thick playbook here to Utah State. Toughness and togetherness, the motto for the Aggies. Narain unable to hit inside. Bean rips down the rebound.
Well, as you say, toughness and togetherness. This is a team built on great chemistry. And a guy like Justin Bean is a perfect example. Wasn't playing early. Now he worked hard in practice, gets a chance to play recently.
Turnovers starting to mount a little bit for the Aggies. That's 3 turnovers in 4 possessions. So after a crisp start, they're starting to slow down a little bit. And again, it goes back to that man-to-man switch by Dutcher.
Well, the changing defense has been very effective for Brian Dutcher over the last couple of years.
Watson, the quarterback on the floor, puts up a long three. Off to the right, no good. Cleared out of there by Miller. Miller, who was limited to just 4 games a season ago, broke his foot, used the red shirt in his freshman campaign. Open three on the way, good. The Aggies bury it. That's Abel Porter, he's got 5 early.
The coach told us before the game, since his insertion into the lineup, their offense has went up a level. They were always solid, but they've gotten even better. It's not good to hear if you're a Mountain West opponent.
In a position, they've used 3 different players this year as McDaniels counted. Drew Ainge started the first 18 games. They go with the freshman Tarion Knight, but lately it's been Porter ever since that New Mexico game where he hit the game-winning 3. Inside position. Taylor nowhere to go, kicks it back out to Brito. Brito drives in, patient approach, and he'll get 2 shots. Narain slipping over, commits the foul. First team foul on the Aztecs. Utah State by 5 on the road. The Aggies trying to keep their road streak alive here on the West Coast. San Diego State trying to survive a slow start shooting. The Aztecs just 4 of 15 from the floor. They trail by 5. 13-8, not quite halfway through this first half. This has been a series dominated by San Diego State. In fact, ever since Utah State joined the Mountain West back in the 2013-14 season, they have not picked up a win. It's been the one Mountain West school that has eluded them, so they're trying to get their fortunes changed tonight against that guy, Brian Dutcher, and the defending Mountain West champs.
You alluded a moment ago to the infusion of enthusiasm that Coach Craig Smith has brought to this Utah State program. What a home run hire by athletic director John Hartwell. Much like John David Wicker hiring Brian Dutcher a year ago.
Mentioned John Hartwell, the athletic director. He looked at 7 candidates, and he felt Smith was the right guy from the beginning with his work ethic, his background to fit into the Cache Valley.
Well, he understands what it takes to build a program, and it's a little different in Utah. It's a different area, and he comes from South Dakota, which was a little different area. You got to recruit a little differently than perhaps some places in the country, and you hire a guy who has already proven it at a lower level, and he has brought that formula to Logan.
Shot clock to 5. This has been a common theme. Watson pushed off, and the offensive foul is called. What a half-court start defensively for Utah State tonight.
Well, everybody likes to talk about University of Virginia and Tony Bennett pack line defense. Utah State, very similar. They don't necessarily get out in passing lanes and try and go for his steals, but they are so fundamentally sound at keeping the ball in front of you, and you saw it on that last possession.
Merrill is on fire. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and one of the top scorers in the Mountain West has 9. Utah State with their largest lead of the night.
And that's the danger if you're playing Utah State. They get comfortable in their man-to-man set, and they're going to burn you.
Tough shot by Mitchell, and he counters on the other end.
He loves playing at home.
Brock Miller, a quick release. Here comes Watson and the Aztecs. Does not have the numbers. Watson dribbles in, draws the contact, and he'll get 2 shots. Miller with the foul, and Devin Watson submarining his way in against the numbers. Aggressive play by the veteran point guard.
Well, he didn't necessarily have the numbers, but he had the stop-and-go move. That stutter step, able to draw the foul.
Devin Watson, a local product out of Oceanside, California, El Camino High School. Started his career at San Francisco, played a couple of seasons. Grew up an Aztec fan, always wanted to play for San Diego State. Transferred after a couple of years following the coaching change, Rex Walters at San Francisco, and he has fit in beautifully for Dutcher in this system.
Oh, he certainly has. And the ability to go end line to end line is exactly what he was looking for.
Here comes Keita back in for Utah State. We've seen this token pressure by San Diego State. A lot of camouflage, different defensive looks in this first half. Merrill trying to work off a screen from Taylor and a blocking foul inside. Crowd thought there should have been a charge. Foul on Mensah underneath.
Take another look. He steps over. That's a bang-bang play. Now we have the advantage of slow motion, but it did appear that he was falling down before the contact. I have to say that's a good call by the official.
Tough three by Merrill. Good defense by Hemsley. He's the defensive stopper. Here comes Watson again attacking. Counts the hoop. A chance for the three-point play.
Watson just, it's end-to-end action with Watson. The crossover, the pullback, and he's able to draw the foul. Talking to his teammates earlier, they said he was the Fortnite king. I tell you what, right now he's the king of the court.
It's an 8-0 San Diego State run. The Aggies have built a 10-point lead. And now a takeaway. The pressure creates another turnover.
Well, they changed it. They double-teamed for the first time.
A little bit of a run for San Diego State. This packed house starting to sense a little momentum. Hemsley inside, gets through, and a timeout by Utah State.
Good timeout by Coach Smith. He couldn't wait for the media timeout because San Diego State has regained the momentum.
A 10-0 run by the Aztecs.
Just a beautiful cross-court pass. And then the off-footed jumper by Hemsley. It's the rodeo shot. The rodeo has come to town.
Look at the offensive distribution so far. Watson with 5, McDaniels 2, Mitchell 5, Hemsley 6. And this is an Aztec team that was looking for that supporting cast to step up. Over the last 2 games, it's pretty much been Watson and McDaniels scoring 65% of their points. But guys like Hemsley and Mitchell, it was their time to step up. Those two with 11 early on. Good signs for San Diego State.
This offense, or excuse me, this defense has kept the Utah State offense off balance.
Keita up top, Burritos 3, in and out. That puppy halfway home, and it's spun out. San Diego State a chance to grab their first lead, and they do it with thunder.
This would be a good time for Utah State to get Merrill a touch.
Keita walked with it. Another Aggie turnover, number 6 in this first half.
And that was one of the keys that Coach Smith told us before the game. We must take care of the basketball. They started off in the first 5 minutes, no turnovers. They have had 6 since then.
12-0 run by San Diego State as they've turned the tables on the Aggies. They lead by 2. Inside 8 minutes to go in the first half. McDaniels right side. Mitchell pumps. He'll fire. No good. Long rebound. Karam's off a couple of sets of hands. Last touch by Utah State. And a timeout in the action. Mensah, the true freshman. The big body in the middle. On the beautiful feed by Watson, the Aztecs with their first lead of the night. San Diego State with a 2-point lead on Utah State. 7:46 to go in the first half. And Rich, you look at this run for the Aztecs. What's been the key allowing them to turn the table a little bit on this Aggie team?
Well, they've created offense with their defense. They get a couple of turnovers. All of a sudden, Utah State misses a couple of shots in the half court, and they're able to get out and run. If they can get this into a 94-foot game with the type of crowd they have in here, oh, watch out, Aggies.
They lob it again. Mensah gets it to go, and the foul. Holy cow. What a finish. And how about the look by Mitchell?
What a great play out of the timeout by Brian Dutcher. You talk about coaches earning their money. They earn it after a dead ball situation. He knows that Utah State is going to come out and overplay defense, go back door, get the easy one. Well designed, well executed.
That's a double whammy if you're Utah State because Keita has picked up number 2, so he goes to the bench. 15-0 run by San Diego State. Inside, Taylor with position, missed the bunny, putback won't go, and here come the running Aztecs. McDaniels, the versatile forward, drives into traffic, ball stripped away, rolls over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the size, again, powers his way in. No good, Mensah on the glass, he'll get 2 shots.
You can see Utah State getting anxious on the defensive end. They overhelp, nobody blocks out Mensah, and he's able to get the offensive rebound.
Into the bonus. 17 fouls for Utah State. Free throw by Mensah, up and in. Nathan Mensah from Ghana. Excellent rebounder. Had 11 rebounds in 14 minutes against Jackson State. Has started the last 7 games, really finding his niche. Missed some time earlier in the year. Played through a finger injury that really cost him about 4 weeks. What a first half, though, for the true freshman.
This would be a good time to try and get Merrill a shot.
Brock Miller will get the look, and he cannot hit. Mensah, another rebound. Aztecs looking to push. Watson spins in. Oh, what a move by Watson. No, there's Mensah on the glass, and a foul called. It's going to be Mitchell clobbering Miller.
Just when you think you have Watson contained, he shifts it into another gear and gets by you. And take a look. Nice spin and able to split the seam. And what happens is all of a sudden he gets penetration. Nobody is helping on the second rotation.
Offensive foul on Knight. A freshman from Oklahoma City pushing off. A prolonged scoring drought for Utah State. Frank Smith trying to find some answers. He continues to rotate freely.
Take a look at it as an off-arm, good acting job, but pretty good call.
Aggies will go with a full court trap for the first time.
They're just trying to get San Diego State out of the comfort zone, much like San Diego State has done to them.
Approaching the 6-minute mark in this first half. San Diego State, a 17-0 run. Shot clock to 5. Watson from Oceanside, California, a mile away. Bingo.
So good at home. So much better than on the road from the three-point line. They shoot over 12% better at home from the 3, and they're showing it this evening.
This place going nuts. Utah State in some trouble on the road. Bean sees some daylight, blocked by Mensah. Oh, what a half for the freshman. Smith and the Aggies wanted a foul. Hensley to the corner, extra pass, open 3, McDaniels, gone! 1, 2, 3!
unselfish basketball displayed by San Diego State. Take a look after the block shot. They're going to trade good shots for a great shot by their leading scorer, McDaniel.
This is incredible. Utah State, the top defensive team as far as holding opponents in field goal percentage, has hit a rock in the form of an Aztec over the last 7.5 minutes. A 23-0 run for SDSU.
Well, and it has Coach Smith bringing Neemish Queta back into the game. He's at the scorer's table with 2 fouls, but Coach Smith says, I can't wait any longer, down 13. And you think about this Utah State team. They've come into a hostile environment. This is a young team experience-wise. They maybe have some guys who are older, but only older because they have done Mormon missions. But they are a young team experience-wise, and this is a tough place to win.
Utah State with a number of players who have went on 2-year missions right out of high school. Merrill put some extra arc to that shot, and he needed it. Terrific finish by Merrill. He's in double figures with 11.
Good call by Coach Smith, designing a play to get his best player a shot.
That snaps an over 5-minute scoring drought for the Road Blue tonight. 31-20, San Diego State. They look for that high-low action as McDaniels cut baseline, nothing there. Hemsley off the dribble, puts up a 3, left it short. Rebound taken though by Rope. Here goes Hemsley again to the basket, and he missed the layup. Key stretch for Utah State. Down 11. We close in toward the end of this first half. Merrill to the foul line. An 89% free throw shooter to get 2. So no surprise when the Aggies have their backs against the wall, they go to their junior leader Merrill to try to get some traction on the road tonight.
And he understands when you're on the road, you don't settle for a challenge jump shot. Get to the rim, try and draw the foul. You can see why he is one of the best scorers in the Mountain West Conference. Young man in the offseason kind of remade his body, lost 10 pounds, got married. His wife must be a good cook. She's cooking the right things for him.
Married Kenyon Ward this past night. Number of these Aggie players married during the offseason.
And that made free throw. They pick up little tempo press. Not trying to steal it, trying to see if you get careless, and they do.
Look at the athleticism of Queta, who has to play pretty careful with those 2 fouls. And Utah State gets a rare takeaway. Merrill will try to make them pay. 16-footer rainbows up and through. Smooth stroke by Sam Merrill.
I was just about to say McDaniel did a good job of helping out, but Merrill, tough shot.
Well, it's been a first half of runs. You saw San Diego State go on the 23-0 blitz. Back comes Utah State. 6 unanswered for the Aggies.
And they show that 2-3 zone.
Hemsley with the offensive foul. Craig Smith, the first one to greet his road Aggies. Utah State showing some life, trying to survive a big Aztec run. Brian Dutcher and his Aztecs leading by 7. This has been a fortress that Mountain West teams have not been able to figure out through the years. Such a huge home court advantage. We talked about the shooting percentages dramatically increasing here in San Diego for the Aztecs, and Craig Smith trying to weather the storm in the first half. He has saw his big guy pick up 2 fouls. He's endured a 23-0 run, yet he looks up at the scoreboard down only 7.
Well, it appears they have steadied the ship. They can keep Queta from picking up his 3rd in the last 3 minutes.
Terrific defense by Mensah. He's the guy that has stood out to me. Able to take away that alley-oop opportunity. Mitchell nowhere to go, and San Diego State will reset the offense.
Coach Smith goes back to the man-to-man. They were in zone trying to protect Queta. He's got to be careful.
McDaniels with the 5 points. He'll try to add to that total. Pinballs off the back iron. No transition opportunities for Utah State in this first half.
Been very good, San Diego State has been in conversion.
Merrill thought about the long three, kept the gun in the holster. Shot clock at 10, gets a high screen. This time he fires away. A couple of Aztecs fight for the rebound, and Utah State gets a gift. Both McDaniels and Mitchell had their paws on it, could not reel it in, and the Aggies with a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
As hard as San Diego State has been going to the glass, I don't think Coach Dutcher can be that upset. You got two guys battling for it. They already have 6 offensive rebounds, and Utah State, one of the best rebounding teams in the Mountain West Conference. But
a smooth stroke once again. Merrill hits a 3, and Utah State with 9 unanswered. They're right back in it. 2-possession game, approaching the 2-minute mark of this first half.
he goes back into that 2-3 zone again.
Merrill with 18 of the Aggie 27 points. Watson might have got away with a shove off. In and out, no good. Mensah with the offensive rebound. 16 rebounds for San Diego State. Watson, showtime. Hemsley for 3. And now the Aggies. No numbers to run. Wisely, Brito puts on the brakes and the shot block. Hemsley got a piece of it as Merrill let it go. Merrill thought there should have been a double dribble. Mitchell puts up a 3-ball. Back and forth we go.
And Coach Smith saying, whoa, whoa, we don't want to get into this type of game. Let's run our half-court set, see if we can't get Merrill or Taylor an easy one.
They isolate Queta inside. Kicks it to the wing. Off into the corner, Brito. Nowhere to go. Taylor playing with flu-like symptoms tonight. He's had a quiet first half. He misfires. And a timeout for San Diego State. 64 seconds to go, first half. Aztecs lead by 4.
Brian Dutcher with the use it or lose it timeout. He's going to look to diagram a play. We'll see if Coach Smith stays in that zone, and perhaps he'll pull Queta out, not wanting him to pick up his 3rd with only a minute left. And the key is, as a coach, you try and manage the clock for your guys who are in foul trouble. And it appears that Coach Smith has put Justin Bean in for Queta, so Queta's going to have a seat for the last 64 seconds, and they have dodged a bullet.
It has been one-sided since Utah State joined the Mountain West back in the 2013-14 season. You see the 10-0 record for San Diego State. Dutcher has been a part of every single one of those wins, now as a head coach, previously as the assistant to Steve Fisher.
Ironically enough, Sean, before they joined the conference, they had beaten San Diego State 3 straight times.
Go figure. Only appropriate. Runs in the records, runs on the scoreboard in this first half. Watson inside, draws a crowd, and he's fouled. What a strange first half, though, in all seriousness. You look up at the score, San Diego State leads by 4. How many teams go on a 23-0 run and only lead by 4?
Well, that is the key for Utah State, that they handled it. You know, these are young guys, experiential-wise, but they battled in a hostile environment. They got the ball to Merrill on a couple of possessions, and it calmed the storm. Now they have a chance to pull within 6, 53 seconds. If you shoot it quick, you got a chance for a 2-for-1. I don't think Coach Smith is worrying about a 2-for-1. He just wants one.
Hemsley's going to pick up his 2nd foul. 1-on-1 situation for Utah State. Merrill will be at the line.
How much respect do they have for Merrill? they don't even want him to catch the ball. They figure their best defense is keeping the ball out of his hands.
Can't blame him. Merrill in this first half, 6 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. 18 points for Utah State. Free throw up and in.
When you think about it, his last 4 games, he's been over the 20-point mark. And he's the type of scorer that they need to have a big game when they go on the road to arguably one of the toughest places in the conference.
Young man who went on a 2-year mission to Nicaragua. Upon returning, worked relentlessly on his shooting form, and I'd say all that work has paid off. Back-to-back big production years in the Mountain West. 12-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Aztecs by 4. Watson goes to work. He's had success with the penetration. Queta gets his second block of the game. Putback won't go, and Queta the rebound. Utah State with plenty of time. 10 seconds to go in this first half. Let's see if they can get Merrill a look. Clock to 2. Fadeaway 3. No. Tip was off the rim as Taylor tried to finish. And that's how the first half will end.
And Sean, if you're Coach Smith, you are very happy the way the last 6-7 minutes went in this contest, because San Diego State was ready to run them out of the gym.
Merrill with 20 to pace Utah State. Watson with 10, leading a balanced San Diego State attack. And after a half here on the West Coast, the Aztecs with the 4-point lead. Mountain West basketball on a Saturday night on the West Coast. Oh, the beautiful sights of San Diego on a Saturday night. It's been a little cool and crisp on the West Coast. It's warm if you're Utah State. Welcome back inside the arena here in San Diego. The Aztecs on top at the intermission, 33-29. Sean Kinney, Rich Savosic, and what a wildly entertaining first half. We see a 23-0 run by San Diego State. Utah State comes back on a 9-0 flush. Who's going to be standing at the end of this one tonight?
Well, you look at it and you think, okay, during the course of the game, there's 7 to 9 runs. So if you can win the majority of the runs, you can win the game. Well, we've seen about 4 here in the first half. First, it was Utah State right out the gate. They were shooting well. They were getting the shots they wanted. And then San Diego State changes defense. They turn it up man-to-man, full court. They make some steals. They force 8 turnovers. And all of a sudden, they're running up and down. That's the tempo they want to play. Utah State, Coach Smith calls the timeout, says, guys, settle down. Let's get our best guy the ball, Sam Merrill. He knocks a couple of threes down. All of a sudden, Utah State right back in it.
One player that really stood out in the first half was the true freshman, Nathan Mensah. We talked about the freshman coming in on the opposite side for Utah State with Queta. But Mensah goes off for 6 points. He grabs 7 rebounds, has a block shot. He held his own in that first half.
Well, he certainly did. And the key was his offensive rebound effort. He may not have gotten every rebound, but he went to the glass, and if he didn't get it, a teammate got it. They had 8 offensive rebounds in the first half. That's pretty good.
San Diego State out-rebounding Utah State in the first half. Let's not forget, this is the best rebounding team in the Aggies in the Mountain West. San Diego State by 4 at the intermission. Utah State currently in the number 2 spot in the Mountain West Conference at 8-2. San Diego State at 5-4, and at the intermission, it's the home team, the Aztecs, leading 33-29 at the intermission. Sean Kinney, Rich Savosic, and Rich, Sam Merrill entered tonight, the number 2 scorer in the Mountain West Conference, close to 20 points per game. Well, what do you know? He's at 20
He's got
here
his
in the first half.
Well, he certainly has, and he's done it very efficiently. 4 for 7 from the three-point line, 4 for 4 from the foul line.
And it was Merrill who was responsible for getting this team back on track. It looked like the ceiling was collapsing. San Diego State went on that long run, and then here comes Merrill, the junior, and the veteran presence on this young team.
So you see his entire arsenal. You go under the screen, knocks a 3. Step back, drive, and then so good at moving without the basketball. Another 3 for Merrill. He's got his team back in it, but San Diego State, 23-0 run, triggered by defense and McDaniels on the jumper, and then Watson just electrifying end-to-end, scoring himself, dishing to a teammate, and Mensah with a couple of slams.
Couple of highlight reel plays by Mensah, finishing on those alley-oops. And look at the shooting percentage. Neither team lighting it up tonight. Utah State well below their season average of 48%.
If you had told me coming in that these would be the numbers, I would think they would be reversed. San Diego State, who shoots so much better at home, really struggling from the three-point line, but doing an excellent job on the glass with 9 second-chance points.
Aztecs looking to remain perfect in Mountain West play through the years on Utah State. So far, so good if you're San Diego State. The fans enjoying the moment here in San Diego. Aztecs by 4 at the intermission. San Diego State looking to extend a 10-game conference home win streak, the 12th longest in the country. They lead by 4 at the break. Second half action coming up next. Beautiful San Diego Harbor, the USS Midway, one of the main attractions for the thousands and thousands of visitors who hit the West Coast. And Sam Merrill has put on a show. He's been the attraction back in Logan this year. What a first half, 20 points, 4 of 7 from downtown.
Don't let that baby face fool you.
No doubt about it.
He's an assassin when he has the ball in his hands.
Speaking of baby faces, there's another one. Mensah, the true freshman. What a first half of the big guy in the paint.
How about that? 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
Same starting 5 out there. Number of players with 2 fouls, but everybody avoided 3 in that first half. Taylor lobs it into Keita. Right back to Taylor, and I think he's feeling a little bit better. Flu-like symptoms on the bus ride here to San Diego. And for the first time tonight, he sends one home with authority.
Wow. Let's take another look. He knows he's got to go in strong when you go in against the big guys. He flushes it, draws the foul, and completes the three-point play.
He is a blue-collar type of player. Gained about 30 pounds when he arrived on campus. He was more of a slasher in high school, but he's a versatile player, can fill that power forward spot, also jump into the 5 when needed. Good start for the Aggies on their first possession. McDaniels, quick turn and fire, too strong. Keita with the box out. Chance for Utah State to grab the lead. And they look for that post up inside. Keita turns with the left hand, can't finish, follows it back up, and the Aggies back out in front.
Watch out, Mountain West Conference. Neemias Queta gets an offensive game. He is going to be unstoppable. A terrific use of his left hand.
Boy, he is. Utah State back out in front for the first time. It's a little more than 9 minutes to go in the first half. Twisting shot is good. 7 for McDaniels. He thought long and hard about going the NBA way. Worked out for a number of camps this summer. Decided to come back at the last second, and the sophomore has produced. Keita will challenge Mensah. Drop step maneuver, won't go. And a rebound taken by the other 2 freshmen.
Coach Dutcher wanted a foul.
You can see the point of emphasis on these first few possessions. That's isolate Keita. They want him to challenge Mensah. Tough shot. Good defense there by Utah State. Porter, stop and go. Trying to draw some contact. Gets it back. Goes crumbling down to the court. Able to salvage a pass out. And the Aggies a second chance. They'll reset the attack. Inside cut. Merrill, and he's fouled. That's going to be the 3rd on Hemsley, and Merrill to the free throw line to shoot 2.
One of the things that Coach Dutcher talked about with us before the game is don't let them get comfortable offensively. And you can see right there the last couple of possessions, when they space the floor, they open up the cutters, and Merrill, the recipient on that one.
McDaniels is going to take a seat. Seiko will come in. Here comes a rope as well. Hemsley sits with the 3 fouls, so the best defender that San Diego State has to sit for a while after picking up his 3rd. Look at the 5 on the floor for Coach Brian Dutcher. Mitchell and Watson are the 2 guys who are going to have to step up. They get it to Mitchell, who's had a quiet first half.
And he knows he's got a mismatch with the smaller Porter on him, but notice with Queta looming in the paint, he's got to shoot a fadeaway.
That's what Dutcher told us earlier today. He said, yes, has 60-some blocks, but how many change of direction shots, how many alterations does he force that he doesn't get credit?
Well, that last possession was an example of it.
Again, they isolate inside. Mensah again holds his ground. Smith up in arms right in front of us. Watson forcing the issue, won't go. Kicks it back, and he will dribble out to fight another day.
One thing you'd say about these officials, they're letting them play. So you've got to adjust and understand you're not going to get a call with contact tonight.
Mensah the rebound. Here goes Watson again. Another offensive rebound for San Diego State. Mitchell clears out the middle, lowers the shoulder, and a blocking foul on the Aggies. Miller went down. I don't know, Rich. Looked like Mitchell leaned in with that power shoulder of his.
Actually, I think that was a pretty good call. We'll take another look. Watch Miller reach right before Mitchell makes the contact with his shoulder.
So Miller picks up his 2nd.
If Miller had held his ground and not reached, he would have drawn the charge.
Mitchell double teamed after picking up his dribble. They look for the quick rotation. Seiko's 3, front and center, no good. And the rebound chased down in the corner by Justin Bean, redshirt freshman from Moore, Oklahoma. Aztecs by 1, little more than 3.5 minutes into the second half. Queta hands it to Merrill. Great look at a 3. Missed it. A rare misfire. Mitchell, little floater, crawls off the rim, no good. Queta able to rip away the rebound.
Queta getting feisty in there. You get the feeling that with McDaniels on the bench, Mitchell has taken it upon himself to be the offensive threat.
3 ball by Porter, no. And now here we go, a stretch of this game. Both teams struggling from the floor. Mitchell attacks, locates, Watson 3.
Three-point shot at Archie's 3. Dylan Watson.
Terrific decision by Mitchell. Queta was looming in the background, kick it for the wide open 3.
We talked about it, no McDaniels, no Hemsley on the floor. Who must step up? That duo of Watson and Mitchell, and they're getting the job done. Spin move by Queta. Mensah denied him, and Mensah having a few words for the big guy. Bean with a pass in to Queta, and things getting a little physical as Queta and Seiko get tied up underneath. And some drawing back and forth. Little feistiness on a Saturday in the Mountain West. Both these teams realize what's at stake. Aztecs by 4 early on. Diego State team can certainly be scary here at home. The Dutch oven, as they like to call it, having some fun against a red-hot Utah State team, in particular Neemias Queta, who has already set the single-season block record with the Aggie program. 62 blocks this year, surpassing Sean Daniels. And after just 1 year, Rich, he's already 13th on the career list. The ceiling the limit with this guy.
The worst thing that could happen. Oh, my.
Speaking of ceiling, there is none to be found there on the alley-oop on the inbound. Queta with a thunderous throwdown. And the Aggies within 2. Perfect play off the inbound for Utah State.
Talk about a well-designed, well-executed out-of-bounds play.
Losing his balance was McDaniels. A couple of bodies go crashing down. Merrill and Bean both getting dirty that time. Here comes Taylor and Brito back in. We go back to the inbound and the set play.
And this is Coach Greg Smith understanding the emotions of his players. You know, Mensah had kind of gotten a little bit better of Keita, so he draws up a play, get him his confidence going, and that'll do it.
Narain from 3. This guy really had it going late in the year a season ago. A player who has been very patient, waiting for his turn, his opportunity to contribute. Been a fairly quiet season this year, but as we watched last year, he stepped up late when this Aztec team needed it. With the full court pressure, nearly creating the turnover, Seiko knocking the ball out of bounds.
They caught a break. If Seiko wanted it, that was just coming in for him to catch it. And you think back to the first half, and it was about this time that San Diego State switched to the full court pressure, trying to turn up the heat, and it worked in the tune of a 23-0 run. We'll see if they can catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Brian Dutcher in year number 2 at San Diego State. He's a second-year coach, but he feels like he's a 25-year guy with his experience working with Steve Fisher, not just here at San Diego State, but their days in Ann Arbor.
Well, he learned from a Hall of Famer.
Penetration by Merrill. He kisses it high off the window.
Young players, if you're watching Sam Merrill, pay attention to his judicious use of his offhand. Great use of the left.
Seiko, a rope, Watson, McDaniels, and Narain, the 5 on the floor. Tough shot by Narain. Ball ricochets right back into his lap. Shot clock reset. 3-ball good, and that's Seiko, the freshman from Boston.
OG's 3-point shot for the Aztecs.
Seiko's been pretty reliable from downtown, 43% this year. 3-ball for San Diego State. They go up by a trifecta. Merrill looking to drive right back. Blows a wheel and a foul call. Seiko with some contact. And here comes this capacity crowd inside Viejas Arena.
Not sure there was much contact. He's got both hands up. Ooh. I think the officials may have missed that one.
Holding foul away from the action. Mensah very animated.
They were trying to run that same lob play. Mensah said, no, I'm not letting you cut that easy.
2 quick fouls on San Diego State. 5th option is Merrill up top. That's a pretty good option. Quinn Taylor thought about the 3, resets it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Merrill trying to work off a Taylor screen. See the switch up by San Diego State. Just inside the arc. Won't go. High above the glass. Pulling down the rebound was a rope. This game just has that March intensity, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And this team's got to play. These two teams play again with Utah State here in a couple of weeks.
They'll have the return engagement on February 26th. That's when the Aztecs make the trip to Logan.
When you think about how San Diego State ends the season, they have to play at Utah State. They still have to play Nevada twice. They got a tough road to hoe, but on the other hand, if they keep playing like they're playing, they could play themselves into an at-large bid.
Look at Keita come out of nowhere. Watson thought he had that one. 3rd block of the day by Keita. Back on the other end, an offensive foul as Porter is called for the charge.
Well, that was one of those where the defender was just Keita stepping over, help side. Terrific job with the block. The Porter in transition needed to just pull up, take the easy jump shot. One too many dribbles.
State of Utah always enjoys watching a good shot blocker. You look at Rudy Gobert with the Jazz and look down the road in Logan. They have one of the best in the country, but now he's picked up his third foul and a chance for the three-point play as Mensah somehow able to get that shot away.
We have spent so much time talking about Keita, as we should. He's a terrific player, but Mensah showing his post moves. Excellent move. Chance for a three-point play.
Key juncture in this game. If you're Smith, do you roll the die with Keita and the three fouls?
I think you do. You're going to get immediate timeout after one more possession.
Brock Miller trying to get on track. He has yet to find his stroke, coming off that strong game in the win at Fresno State. Aztecs very quietly building a 6-point lead. Mitchell diagonally down the lane. Cut out of there by Taylor. Gets it out high to Devin Watson. He's been creative off the dribble. Kicks it right back to Mitchell in the corner. Step back three. Short. Keita the position. The next dead ball will be that media timeout. Aggies down 6. Keita a touch. Immediately double team. Watson reaching in. And it's going to be a foul on Watson with the help out. And the two teams will go into their huddles. Media timeout. Watson picks up the foul. Dutcher watching his Aztecs build a 6-point lead. We'll have more from San Diego right after these words. San Diego State by 6, 11:18 to go here in the second half. The Aztecs, a game above 500 in the Mountain West Conference. Utah State at 8-2, their best start in conference play since they joined the Mountain West, being tested on the road for the second straight game, much like they were at Fresno the other night.
And you wonder, how is San Diego State up 6? They're only shooting 33%. How about their +5 in turnovers? +6 in offensive rebounds. So getting more shots even though they're not shooting as well. And got to hand it to Coach Craig Smith. He has drawn up some very good out-of-bounds plays leading to points and free throws.
Both teams perfect at the foul line. Utah State goes 10 for 10, matching the jersey number worn by Quinn Taylor. First miss of the night, rebound chased down by Watson. Aggies within 5. San Diego State with Watson, McDaniels, Mensah, Mitchell, and Hemsley, the starting 5 back on the floor.
How about that? Keep Keita in the game with 3 fouls, but they move to a 2-3 zone to try and protect the big fella.
That opens up a corner shot, and McDaniels buries it.
That's the facet of his game that is much improved, shooting the 3.
McDaniels in double figures with 10. Brock Miller can't connect. Scramble for the loose ball, and they're going to give it to San Diego State. So you have 2 key players out there, 1 apiece for each side. Hemsley with the 3 fouls. He's the defensive stopper for San Diego State. And then, of course, Keita for the Aggies. Mitchell isolated on Miller. Leans in. Good D by Brock Miller. Tried to sneak a pass along the baseline. Just ran out of real estate and an Aztec turnover.
Terrific adjustment defensively for Utah State. So often you see that player goes baseline. They're always throwing to the opposite corner. Excellent job of taking that away by Utah State.
San Diego State's been pretty stubborn with the ball. That's only their 5th turnover of the night. Did a nice job against the Aggie D. Utah State breaks the pressure. Quinn Taylor rushes into the paint, gets it back out to Merrill. Merrill off a high screen and a whistle away from the action, and a holding call. And these fouls starting to mount for San Diego State. The Aztecs.
You can see as Mitchell reaches in on the beginning of the drive by Merrill.
18 fouls for the Aztecs. Utah State still sitting with just the 3 team fouls. And we still have over 10 minutes to go in this game. A rare miss by Merrill at the foul line. He settles for 1 of 2. San Diego State by 7. Aggies go back to the man-to-man look. And Miller and Mitchell all night. Set play. Watson open. 3 ball. Left it short. Rebound Mensah. That's his 9th. Hensley's 3. It won't go. And another rebound. A 3rd crack at it for San Diego State. A whistle before the shot, and we'll have a foul on the floor. How about the rebounding job by San Diego State? This is a Utah State, clearly the best rebounding team in the conference, getting hammered tonight on the glass.
And it's led by Mensah, who has done an outstanding job. More shots, more opportunities.
It's a +8 in the rebounding category for the Aztecs. Another loose ball situation. Usually it's Merrill who's down on the court. Not only is he the team leader in pretty much every statistical category, but he's also there in charges taken and court burns throughout the course of the year. He is one of those players that does it all.
Well, we watch Utah State get Keita and Merrill a shot off the out of bounds. Perhaps it's McDaniels for San Diego State.
Shot clock to 3. McDaniels, top of the key. No. Mitchell foul. Count it. Flexing the muscle. Aztecs up 9.
They just continue to pound Utah State on the offensive glass. Mitchell, nice job of timing his lead, and then the strength to follow through.
Start to hear this crowd make some noise. Aztecs back up double figures. They lead by 10. Taylor hands it to Merrill. Back out to Quinn Taylor. When the Aggies have needed a shot, it's been Merrill who has delivered, and he'll get 2 free throws. And Merrill trying to take this team on his back. 25 of Utah State's 42 points tonight.
That's what your team leader does, and he has done it so beautifully all season long. Young man who has flourished under the coaching change. And so often you see players who struggle when a new coach comes in, and other players, they seem to take off with a new coach, and Merrill certainly fits that description.
He was recruited by longtime coach Stu Morrill. He found out when he was on his mission trip overseas that a longtime fixture in Logan decided to retire. So really 3 coaches throughout his time that he has been in contact with, and he has settled in nicely with Craig Smith. Those 2 have been on the same page from day one. Smith has asked him to become more of a vocal leader this year, and he's done just that. Mitchell double team, tried to sneak a pass. It's back-to-back turnovers from Mitchell, and the Aggies come away.
Great rotation by Justin Bean. Help the helper.
Merrill, 3-pointer, good. Boy, he is unstoppable tonight.
You cannot go under the ball screen on Sam Merrill. He is going to make you pay.
Merrill with a 5-0 run. He's cut the deficit down to 5. 52-47. McDaniels leans in and he took a step.
Travel violation and a timeout.
We were just talking a little bit ago how well San Diego State had managed the basketball. 3 turnovers on their last 4 possessions. Merrill starting to catch fire. Utah State within 5. To get on top of the Mountain West, you have to usually come to this venue and try to figure out a way to knock off the Aztecs. San Diego State has been the program over the past decade here in the Mountain West. Last year's conference tournament champions. Their 11th Mountain West championship. They've won 6 regular season titles, 5 tournament championships. A program that's been to the postseason 12 times in the last 13 years.
And Coach Brian Dutcher has been a part of all of those. Some as the associate head coach, some as the coach in waiting, and then last year in his inaugural campaign follows his mentor, Steve Fisher, to the tournament.
Merrill unconscious. 32 points, 7 straight. And before you blink an eye, here come the Aggies again.
Oh, he is so fun to watch. He beats you off the dribble. He beats you off the cut.
Seiko back into the lineup for San Diego State. Watson at the elbow, nowhere to go. Gets it right back. Shot clock to 7. Watson leans and he'll get the call. Merrill with the body. Evan Watson should get 2 free throws.
Aggies now third person on number 5, Sam Merrill.
There's such a discrepancy the way these 2 teams are getting their production. You have Merrill with 32 for Utah State, while the Aztecs, 4 different players in double figures, so they're getting that balance. And the guy at the line right now leading the way, 14 for Devin Watson.
And if you're Coach Brian Dutcher, what you're pleased about is, you know, a lot of guys feel like when you come home and you're shooting so much better as they have from the three-point line, but tonight they're 12 percentage points below what they normally shoot. But it's been the offensive rebound effort. 14 offensive rebounds has led the way to this 4-point lead.
Remember, no Jordan Shackle tonight as well for San Diego State. He is their talented guard out with an injury. He had just returned last time out in the loss at New Mexico. He had missed 3 games with a sprained ankle, unable to go tonight. Second chance, a rare second chance. Utah State takes advantage. The 3 ball from Brito. His first bucket of the game, and it comes at a clutch moment for Utah State. A lot of standing on this trip down the floor. Watson will change that and finish. Didn't look like a smooth setup there, Rich. You had a lot of standing, and Devin Watson, who's been able to find some daylight time and time again, able to sneak through a crevice for 2. Queta bowling his way in, can't finish. And the rebound cleared out of there by Aro.
That was very close to a foul. No call, play on.
McDaniels to Watson, right back to McDaniels, he's ready, good!
Reward the unselfish play. McDaniels doesn't force it to begin with. He kicks it to a teammate, spreads it, and then buries it. And once again, 2 San Diego State players fighting for the ball. It goes out of bounds. Utah State going to get another shot at it. So Merrill's getting open, coming off that high screen. The guy who's guarding the screener has got to help. Leave your man and help on Merrill.
Turnover by Brito. 10th turnover today for the Aggies. Watson and the Aztecs leading by 6. Inside 5 minutes to go. Look at the explosion by McDaniels. The 2 and the foul.
Daniels, he draws the foul for the Aztecs.
McDaniels is going to initiate the contact just enough to get Bean on his heels. And then his length gives him the ability for the acrobatic finish.
The speed of that first step is what has NBA scouts excited about this young man's future.
He is so long and got that quick first step. If he becomes more proficient at the 3, as we've seen, his stock is going to continue to rise.
Well, the question becomes, how many storm clouds can Utah State fend off here on the road? They're back down 9. An 8-0 run for San Diego State. Merrill working feverishly away from the ball to get a touch. Hensley shadowing him right now. Shot clock to 5. They can't get the ball to Merrill. Brito with 3, forces a prayer. Oh, he hits it.
How about Porter? Big shot, Porter.
Student athlete who was given a scholarship less than 3 weeks ago. 2 days before the New Mexico game, he eventually hit the game winner, a buzzer beater, to get a win at the pit.
I'd say that's a pretty good investment.
A lot of contact inside. It was Merrill and McDaniels, the 2 stars. And the foul called on Utah State. We'll take a break. 3:54 to go. A lot to be settled tonight. Aztecs by 6. Star junior Sam Merrill trying to keep Utah State in this one on the road. 32 points, and he's found a number of different ways to get the job done.
And you saw that with the left hand and then the step back. And then he's going to beat you on the mid-range jumper. You got to step up if you're San Diego State. The only guy that can hurt you is Sam Merrill.
32 for Merrill. Maybe a key statistic just happened a few moments ago. He picked up his 4th foul. What a night shooting for Merrill. Remember, he scored 37. That's a career high in the season opening win against Montana State. So now he has to play smart with the 4 fouls.
And they're going to review it to make sure that the foul was called on the correct player. And they confirmed that it was Merrill.
McDaniels head to the line for the Aztecs. 1-1.
And we saw Coach Smith switch to the zone when Keita picked up early fouls. We'll see if he switches with Merrill with 4 fouls to try and protect his offensive star.
Just the second miss of the night by San Diego State at the line. 12 of 14. McDaniels misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Porter inside pass. Keita. This has been a terrific matchup with Mensah. Turnaround shot won't go, but flipped on the arm. Mensah commits the foul. And the true freshman, just a 57% foul shooter to get 2.
There is a lot of contact going on in the post. Every time Keita catches it, he's going to hit you with his shoulder. And if you're the defender, you have to decide. Are you either going to fall and try and take the charge and get the official to call it, or are you going to man up and wall up and try and make him shoot over you?
Keita was a late arrival this summer after playing for the Portuguese U20 national team in Bulgaria. Utah State actually began recruiting him in the spring, and he enrolled in August. When the Mountain West schools found out that everything had cleared, they all knew that they were in some trouble, and he has paid dividends. But he has struggled from the foul line this year. He misses both. Maybe a freshman moment, and the Aztecs by 6.
They stay in man-to-man. We'll see if San Diego State goes right at Merrill.
Watson, off-balance shot. No need.
Watson sinks a 2 shot for the Aztecs.
There's 1,600 career points for Devin Watson. He has played a lot of minutes throughout his career, whether it's San Francisco or here in his hometown. And a takeaway, 2 missed free throws and a turnover. San Diego State with that 8-point lead inside 3 minutes to go. One foul on Utah State. This will put Watson at the line.
Number 15, Porter.
4th on Porter, so the foul's mounting for the Aggies.
And if you're Utah State, you got to be checking the stat sheet to see who you can foul, as we're about 2 possessions away from becoming a free throw shooting contest, but that keeps the door open for Utah State. Another front end miss.
Brock Miller hasn't been able to get his offense on track. He wants the ball top of the key. Gets it over to Abel Porter, playing with the 4 fouls. Porter down the lane, forces up a shot, no. Kana tried to keep it alive. Mensah runs out of room along the near side, and Utah State to maintain possession.
They're going to get it in the dead corner, with one of the worst places to take the ball out of bounds. Let's see what they've got drawn up.
Brito will be the trigger point. He'll lob it out high to Merrill. Merrill nearly had that ball kick up on him. It's a set play for Merrill, curling off a screen, rainbow 3, money.
Three-pointer is Sam Merrill.
Like Merrill was trying to get a timeout call, could not get the officials' attention before the inbound pass. 2 minutes from San Diego, and now it will be the Aztecs who use the TL. Merrill has 35, but will it be enough? The finish from San Diego, Aztecs by 5. Balanced attack for San Diego State, while for Utah State, a one-man wrecking crew in Sam Merrill. He has 35 points. His last 3-point basket has the Aggies to within 5.
Sean, let's look for a little change from San Diego State on the defensive end. Merrill has been very good at hiding behind that high ball screen. If you're San Diego State, we haven't seen it yet, but we could see just a double team the minute he gets the ball, between the guy guarding the ball screener and his man. Get the ball out of Merrill's hands.
Watson has been the trigger point like he has all season, making his moves off the dribble. Shot won't go. Keita rips down the game's most important rebound. Here comes Merrill off a screen, never stops, all the way in, and Mensah with the block.
Utah State fans wanted a goaltend. Looked like a pretty good block, but
if San Diego State was looking for a statement game from their true freshman Mensah, I think they picked it up tonight. He has been terrific inside. Shot clock to 2, and Seiko, did he get it off? I don't think he did. Ball being played in, and it's emerged by the Aggies. I think everybody paused there for a little bit. Merrill down the lane, puts it up, and an offensive foul, and that's number 5 on Sam Merrill. And look who took the charge, Mensah.
Mensah doing it all on the defensive end. He takes away Merrill with a block, and then he takes him out of the game by taking the charge. Took it right in the chest. Good job by Mensah sliding over. Now with the charge, Merrill out of the game. Utah State is going to have to find their offense from someone else. And earlier in the year, it was Porter And then Quinn Taylor, who have hit big threes at the end of games, but was always off of a Merrill pass. We'll see if they can do it on their own.
Mitchell will be the trigger point for San Diego State. Gets it to Hemsley, immediately double teamed. Mitchell trapped, looking to get a timeout called, and he does.
Smart heads-up play by Mitchell. He knew the time was running short, and the most important thing is possession of the basketball at this point. So if you're Utah State, you're going to press full, obviously. You're going to try and deny the ball inbounds. Take somebody off the ball, let them play center field, try and get a 5-second count or a steal. If they get the ball inbounds in the backcourt, you give yourself a trap or two. Once it crosses half court, you got to foul immediately. If you're San Diego State, you tell Mitchell, who's triggering the ball inbounds, burn a timeout if you don't have a sure pass. If you're a receiver, run through the ball. Don't give Utah State a chance to jump the passing lane and make the steal. And then once you catch it, look up the floor and be strong with the basketball.
San Diego State, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the Mountain West. They get it to Hemsley, McDaniels. Now if the Aggies on the defensive end, here comes the foul. Porter with the foul, and they'll put Watson at the foul line. And now that's number 5 on Abel Porter, so he's done.
And you go back to that last press break where they do an excellent job of spreading the floor in the half court, taking additional time off the clock. McDaniels is wide open in the corner, but he understands time, score, and situation. They don't need a 3-ball at that juncture. Keep the clock running, make them foul.
Watson tonight from the line, 6 of 8 on the season, a 75% foul shooter. First one up and in.
How about the type of year Watson's having? One of only 5 players in the country averaging over 15 points, almost 5 assists, making 2.5 threes a game. Outstanding.
2 big free throws by Watson. And a 7-point lead for San Diego State, and they'll keep this pressure on.
Well, Sean, you don't need a 3 here if you can get right to the rim and get a quick 2.
Knight, the freshman, dribbles off in the corner. Brito has a tough time with the catch, finds Taylor. 3-ball, no. Queta coming over the top, keeps it alive.
This is a tough offensive juncture for Utah State. Your leading scorer is fouled out. Your starting point guard, Porter, is fouled out. And we're going to get a review to see who the ball went out of bounds off of. Maybe we get another look at it.
So as they go to the scorer's table to take a look, a Utah State program coming in, riding a 7-game win streak. It's been exactly 1 month since they tasted defeat, January 9th. Since that time, 7 straight wins. But coming here to San Diego, a big test against the defending Mountain West champs who have been so tough here inside the arena, and tonight a 7-point lead late.
And if you're looking at Utah State's body of work over the course of the season, there are 5 losses. 4 of them have been very good losses. Houston non-conference, and a loss at San Diego State is not considered a bad loss when you're talking about the standard bearer for the Mountain West over the past decade.
Miller unable to hit. Knight fighting for the rebound. And a traveling call with 13 seconds to go. It stays with Utah State. Devin Watson coming up big in this second half. 20 points for the 9th time this year. Hitting that 20-point mark. Miller from the corner lets loose, and a 3-ball and a timeout. Utah State Not going down without a fight. Miller finally able to crack that lid on the hoop. What has been a tough night shooting for the good-looking freshman.
And if you're Utah State, you got to sell out for the 5-second count. Face guard everybody. Try and get the ball back before it comes inbounds. If they get it in, it's an immediate foul. You know, we talk so much about Keita and what he means to this Utah State team. Obviously, the senior Devin Watson had a great game. But what Mensah has done tonight, remarkable.
Take a look at the first 4 out. Utah State, one of those teams, and I know, Rich, we were talking all day today how you look at this Mountain West Conference and the last couple of years, the track record's not on the side to get an at-large berth.
And all due respect to Joe Lenardi and Mr. Bracketology, I don't want to hear about an 8-10 Big Ten team getting in. Indiana loses 7 in a row, and he still has them in Utah State, first 4 out. You got to be kidding me. Don't even go there, Sean, because my blood is going to start to boil.
We were talking to Brian Dutcher about it earlier today, and he pointed up into the rafters and said, you see that banner in 2016? We won the conference by 4 games that year.
Exactly.
Made it all the way to the finals of the Mountain West Tournament Championship, lost in the finals, missed out on a bid. I mean, it has been a conference that has really been overlooked come selection time.
No, it certainly has. And maybe this new net rankings will change it. I don't think so, but one can only hope.
The NIT semifinals in that 2016 run. They missed the postseason 2 years ago, but able to return to the NCAA in the big dance last year. 1 of 2 at the line for Watson. No time to be selective. There goes Knight to the hoop and a quick timeout. So just a few miles from the gas lamp district. The lamp stays a little lit tonight for Utah State down 3.
Well, that's a smart move by Knight. He knows that San Diego State does not want to foul. So he's able to get to the rim in less than 4 seconds. Now all of a sudden, if San Diego State turns it over or misses a free throw, Utah State still with a chance for the tie.
10 straight conference games have ended in the Aztec side throughout the years. That's the longest in the Mountain West, and you compare it on the grand scope of things across college basketball, that's 12. So he has built a fortress here, and you know it as well as anybody. You defend the home court, good things happen throughout the course of a season.
Well, there's no question about it. And the toughest thing for Brian Dutcher when he became the head coach here, even though he was a part of all that success, is that he followed a legend, a Hall of Famer, Steve Fisher. And there's a lot of pressure to try and maintain that success. And obviously he did it last year. And as we talked about at the outset, they've won 4 of their last 6. They're playing their best basketball right now. Who knows? Maybe they could play their way in to an at-large bid. They still have Utah State one more time. They have Nevada a couple of times. And Nevada, which has been ranked in the top 10 all year long. Certainly if you knock off a top 10 team, you can be in the conversation.
Running the baseline, Mitchell, they get it inbounded immediately. Watson is the guy they wanted to get the ball to, and Utah State does a nice job of getting a quick foul. Just a second goes off the clock. And now for Watson, all he needs is 1 to put this game on ice tonight. It's been a terrific game for Watson. 21 points, 3 assists, just the 1 turnover, and he's been out there pretty much every second tonight. And there it is, first one up and in.
Now if you're San Diego State, it's just stand like a statue. Don't even challenge the shot.
Devin Watson 22 points, one of 4 Aztecs in double figures, and Utah State will have their 7-game winning streak snapped here in San Diego. Don't take your eyes off the Aztecs. The defending champions send a loud and clear statement tonight.
Hats off to Utah State. They come in on a 7-game winning streak. It's a hostile environment. They get shut out on a 23-0 run by San Diego State, but they bounce back with a gritty performance. And who knows, if Merrill doesn't foul out, perhaps they take this down to the wire, but I'm a little scared if I'm a coach in the Mountain West of this San Diego State team. I mean, you've got a guy like McDaniels who's playing his best basketball, maybe of any player in the country over the last 11 games. Watson playing good, and the job that Mensah has done, wow.
Watson goes for 23, McDaniels 16, Mitchell and Mensah each with 10. Mensah a double-double tonight. That counters the 35 put in by Merrill. San Diego State defeats Utah State. For Rich Savosic, this is Sean Kinney saying so long from San Diego. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from the West Coast.